I think I'll be raised up somehow, and it's not what I want.
I know they said too, that some of them might
This is better.
Thank you, guys. How's everybody doing today? How are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm going to talk to you guys today. I'm Sister Stromova of the Fellowship of the Incarnate Divine, which is a religion that I co-founded with my 7 fellow prophets. And I'm going to talk to you guys today about one of my co-founding prophets and a person of great divine significance to my life, Sister Ghanassava. And today we're just going to go through, and I wanted to educate you guys and share with you the divine life and journey of Sister Ghanassava. This is Sister Ghanassava as a child. She was born Nikki Jean Nagel to Donald and Jeanette Nagel in Denver, Colorado in 1950. To the right, the photograph to the right, is Nikki at age 6. The photograph to the left is Nikki with her 2 younger siblings. She was the oldest of 4 children. One thing that Nikki generally, Sister Ghanassava now, Nikki at that time, generally says about her childhood in various interviews and various readings that I've read about her life is that she was always afraid. Although there's little known about the details of Sister Ghanassava's childhood, we do know that there was some extreme abuse from her father and her mother, that they lived in extreme poverty, that there were times when she only had 1 set of clothes to wear to school. And she has been quoted as saying, "My father believed that a woman's place was barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen." Here, Nikki is pictured with her younger sister, Carrie, and her dog, Cactus, at age, we presume it to be 17. At age 18, she left her home in Denver, Colorado, on what she later called a divine mission to go to San Diego, California. Her father had refused for her to go to college because, as he said, a woman's place was not in education. She had been educated enough, having gotten her high school degree. And since she disagreed with that, she left her home and her family behind and relocated to San Diego, California, where at age 19, she was married to a man 10 years her senior. She proceeded to have 2 beautiful children. Here she is pictured pregnant with her first daughter and her dog, Fluffy. And to the left, we see her with her eldest daughter at age 19, some months after her daughter was born. Of this time, Nikki says that she had everything she wanted, but she dreamed every night that a flood was coming that would wash her life away. And Sister Ghanassava has written of this time that when the flood came, it was a flood of tears. Unfortunately, Sister Ghanassava lost her 3rd child to a 8-month miscarriage, and the ensuing postpartum depression alienated her from her family. She divorced her husband and was forced to leave her children and start her life anew. During this time, Sister Ghanassava found her spiritual guru, or as she would say later on, he found her. Paramahansa Yogananda, born 1893, died 1952, was the founder of Self-Realization Fellowship. And to this day, Sister Ghanassava speaks to him, speaks of him as her spiritual guru and her spiritual guide and her best friend. Sister Ghanassava, when speaking of this time, things are very unclear. It was clearly a difficult time in her life. She often tells of wandering through parks in the rain, her eyes blackened by the symptoms of postpartum depression. And it was during one of these walks, journeys, missions to find some meaning, that she stumbled upon a lecture being given by one of the monks in Self-Realization Fellowship. This was some 20 years after Paramahansa Yogananda had died. And she sat at a lecture hall, I think very similar to this one, and she listened to what this monk said, and she felt as though he was speaking directly to her the entire time, and that he was telling her everything that she needed to hear. And in the midst of this lecture, she felt someone take her hand. And when she turned to look at the seat next to her, she saw this man, who she did not recognize, but later discovered to be Paramahansa Yogananda, the deceased founder of Self-Realization Fellowship. Sister Ganasava cites this as the moment she was set on her spiritual path, a path that she followed for the rest of her life. A path that she claims saved her life during a very difficult time when, due to the postpartum depression and other symptoms, she began to suffer from extreme anorexia. In this photo, pictured here, Sister Ganasava claims to have been down to 86 pounds. Her period had stopped. Her hair was falling out. These are common symptoms of extreme anorexia. And she, quote, found a can of sardines while cleaning my garage. The sardines were gone before my brain even realized what was in my hand. Eating those sardines saved my life. She attributes the discovery of these sardines to Paramahansa Yogananda and the Divine Mother and divine intervention. Later on in her life, Sister Ganasava, although having a damaged uterus from her first miscarried, from her third child being miscarried, was able to have 2 more children through, once again, what she claimed to be divine intervention. She said, quote, "It was a gift from the Divine Mother that I was able to have children again. The doctors told me that I wouldn't be able to after the one that I lost, but she being the Divine Mother, heard my prayers." Pictured here is Sister Ganasava, circa 1984, and then later on, Sister Ganasava in approximately 1993 with her youngest child and second youngest child. This is a photograph of Sister Ganasava more recently. She travels the world giving lectures as the prophet of the Sacred Circle. Here she's about to give a lecture at Powell's Bookstore in Portland, Oregon, August 4th, 2014. This is an artist's rendering of Sister Ganasava in a state of divine consciousness during the execution of Kriya Ban exercises. She is an initiate into the fellowship of the Kriya Ban and those who have studied Kriya Yoga techniques through her devotion to Paramahansa Yogananda. She has studied his teachings and has achieved that level of divine knowledge, divine consciousness. This painting was made circa January 2011. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If anyone is interested in further information on Sister Ganasava or the Fellowship of the Incarnate Divine, NikkiAstro.wordpress.com is Sister Ganasava's WordPress, where she posts some things relating to the Fellowship of the Incarnate Divine and some things relating to her professional career as an astrologer. The second link is our Facebook group, and the third link is our Tumblr. Thank you so much for your attention. And of course, as always, no matter what the setting, I want to extend to you the offer of truth acceptance as my holy mission as Sister Stromova of the Incarnate Divine. If at any time anyone in this room has a truth they need heard, I am here to hear that truth and to accept it. Thank you.
Does anybody have questions for any of our presenters?
Well, that's the most that I